the consumer, the modern consumer, has certain expectation for any product, and food is a major product. And when consumers buy food, they don't want to get sick from the process. So because of that, there are agreements globally about how best to grow food which is safe and which is of high quality. And this conference is about that. And part of the challenge where we have most of our smallholder farmers, they grow food for themselves first. So they just grow. So there are no expectations. They know their food. They know how they have grown it. They don't have to ask many questions. But the moment it starts going to the market, whether it's the local market, people start choosing based on certain preferences. And the moment you want to export, the standards become even tighter. So I think as a community of nations under the WTO and FAO, under WHO, there are common standards that have been developed where every product is expected to meet, especially a food product. And this is usually packaged in codes or agreements. And of course, there are organizations like Global GAP who help in building capacity to make sure that people are able to reach this. And that is why we have this conference today. But for us in the ministry, we support this. And we have been working very hard through AFA to put in place regulations so that we can guide the standards, because the standards have to start from the farm. So that means we need to capacity build our farmers so that they're able to produce, to be able to enter the market, whether the local or the international market. The international market is harder, but even the local market will be harder because consumers are demanding certain things and we should be able to provide them. Right now, the Ministry of Health and ourselves, we are working on putting in place a food safety agency, because most of the focus in the past has been on export. On the local scene, we have relied on the Department of Public Health. But the complexity of issues that you deal with in food have grown beyond public health. So they need a more multidisciplinary agency to be able to deliver the full mandate. And so we are working together with the Ministry of Health towards that end. And organizations like KEPIS, AFA, Pharmacies and Poison Board, PCPB, Directorate of Veterinary Services, all these are regulatory agencies, and the main focus is to make sure that whatever is in the market, that is either from animal or crop origin, is safe and can be used for human consumption.
Basically, we are a non-for-profit organization. We have been founded 20 years ago, mainly for the European retailers, to develop standards just to reduce the complexity for the farmers. Because 20 years ago, every farmer has to comply with different protocols to comply or to sell to different customers. At that time, it was a mess. I used to work in this business with the Spanish producers, and was very expensive and complex for the farmers. 20 years ago, this organization said, okay, let's develop one standard to convince, to make happy all the industry. And this is the key success of this organization. We have the largest buyers all around the world. You mentioned China. Now we have Association of the Chinese Retailers in China. We have the Association of Retailers from Brazil. That means the challenge is still difficult, but we are improving the situation. Then producers with one Global GAP certificate, they are able to sell products mainly all over the world. This is the thing. Our organization is really focused on smallholders. Currently, we have producers in 135 countries. 70% of them are smallholders, producers with 1 hectare as an average. This is the reason why we have big groups of producers in Kenya who are already complying with Global GAP, because you have the opportunity to work in a group, have an organization who help you to implement the standard, and when the auditor comes, the life is easier, let me say. But what is true is that the standard is the same all over the world. Sometimes I have some conversations with in another countries and say, oh no, maybe you have an easier standard for Africa or for Latin America. No, it's the same standard. Producers who wants to really to be part of the system are open, and it's the same standard all over the world.
CALRO also partners with other organizations when it comes to food safety. And even on this global job, we do partner even with government to help in the training of farmers on that standard. As you say, the standard is the same. And it's getting farmers to know about the standard and implementing it. It's not, I wouldn't say something so difficult, it's just that farmers need to understand what the standard is all about to be able to implement it. And so we work with the fresh produce, the FPIC, we work with them, and we also are part of the trainers to ensure that they pick up these standards. And so we are part of it. Yes.